how I've been taught to do this ceremony is we need to sing 2 songs. And one of those songs that we sing is for the Great Spirit. And one of those songs that we sing, of course, is for that connection to that fire, okay?
What I would get out as a caregiver from attending ceremony is providing that energy and nourishment for my spirit so that I have the energy to do that work. To me, self-care is one of the most important things. So it's very important for me to nurture my sense of peace, my sense of balance, my sense of connection. I see so many caregivers who are just burnt out and they don't have anybody to step in for them.
Now, the sunrise ceremony that I've been taught, we always honor that sun that comes up, that grandfather. Think about that we woke up today, we have that breath of life.
Colette McCombs is the organizer of today's sunrise ceremony. She's a professional caregiver running a grief and bereavement circle for Aboriginal legal services. Here, Indigenous teachings offer spiritual and emotional guidance to a circle of people who've experienced loss or are offering care to a loved one.
Historically in the community, there is a lot of loss. There's loss of language, there's loss of land base, there's loss of family and community through the 60s scoop and residential schools. There's loss of so many things, and the death rate's much higher among Indigenous people. We happen to be losing a lot of our youth at a very high rate. We find they're dying faster than our elders these days. So the teachings from the culture, they tend to celebrate death more than grieve it, to look at it as another part of life.
Death isn't about everything ending to us. We call it the greatest gift the Great Spirit allows us to experience, is to experience this life and then one day to be taken back home. And to us, getting back home is, of course, going to what we call the spirit world.
I was co-facilitating an addiction circle one day, and I posed the question to all the participants as to what led them to their addiction, and every person in that circle talked about some form of loss or grief or trauma that had put them back into their addiction.
Colette spent most of last year caring for her elderly mother, who recently passed on. As part of her grief process, she turned to Indigenous ceremony and teachings to cope with her loss.
Oh, that was such a glorious way to start the day.
That always
I haven't done a
is,
sunrise like that for a long time. I didn't know that today was the first day you sang with your drum since your mom's.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad I didn't know, because I would have felt uncomfortable to push you to do it.
Oh.
But it was lovely. It was
No,
just,
I wanted to.
Yeah.
I've heard people put their drums away or not dance in the powwow for a year after their elder dies or somebody close to them dies. So, like, I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to not want to drum.
No, I think some people do it as a sign of respect, that they won't take great joy or pleasure until they've honored their grief in a good way. But grief is very personal.
Traditional ceremonies connect people to their living communities and their ancestors. This rich cultural heritage is a pillar of spiritual support for caregivers, especially as these ceremonies have resisted centuries of colonization and survived.
I was always afraid of death and dying. I was afraid of people suffering. I was afraid of even being around at that end of life. I would avoid funerals at all costs. Once death keeps happening in the community, it was really, really hard. But for me, it's really changed my perspective from having that sense of unknown to the point where now I don't believe that our spirit dies. I believe that our spirit lives on. I believe the spirit world is here and now and that they can see us.
Death and dying is the greatest ceremony. It's the highest ceremony that each and every one of us will earn one day. The doorways open up and your spirit will vacate into the energy of all the things seen and unseen.